Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Let's see what the game gives me today. We've got the Bull. Okay, so Bull, of course, the random weapon conceit doesn't mean much to the Bull, since we don't get weapons, but it is still nice to play the Bull on the Abyss. This character's much harder on this map, because enemies simply do more damage, and you have to take damage in order to do damage with the Bull. So I'm going to talk through how to win with the Bull on the Abyss. When you get a tree on the first map, or on the first wave, or on any wave with the Bull, you need to bring enemies to it, because you can't kill it yourself. You need an enemy in order to do damage. The Bull needs to take damage to deal damage, so what you need to do is bring an enemy on top of the tree so that you can kill it, and because of that, we got a little bit of extra money off of the first wave. We could either take this luck. Luck is very good for the Bull. We're always going to be on top of enemies when we kill them because of how the character works. So generating more consumables to heal is very, very important. We could also take regen because we just get additional regeneration. So every point of regeneration we take is better than it is for other characters, and it's very important. Or we could roll for harvesting. So all of these are great options. Here I'm going to just take the luck, because luck is so good for this character. We definitely want to make sure we're getting that. As you can see here, of course, we don't have any weapons in the first shop, because the Bull can't get weapons. So I'm going to take the whistle, and I will take the alien worm, although this decreases our consumable healing, which we definitely want to improve. Alien worm gives us more HP and more regen. We get 3 regen off it, and getting our regen high is really important for this character. The Bull's damage is based on our elemental, ranged, and melee damage, so an item like charcoal that gives you multiple kinds of damage is more efficient for this character than it is normally, but I'm not going to lock it. I do want the cute monkey because additional healing, very, very important for this character, but the charcoal I think we will be able to replace with other sources of damage. I will do a reroll here because it's very, very cheap, and I'm actually going to lock both of these items. Do I want the head injury as well? I think head injury is fine to not lock. This character is going to lock items with quite differently than other characters will. Because we're not rolling for weapons, we can be a little pickier about what we buy off the first shops and make sure that it's actually items that will help us. When you're playing the Bull, you want to walk in these spirals so that you can hit multiple enemies with every explosion. Now, in the early waves, it doesn't really matter, because enemies don't yet do enough damage that we need to minimize the number of hits we're taking, but later on we will really need to minimize the number of hits we're taking in order to maximize our damage while taking as little damage as possible ourselves. I'm going to roll again, and we'll take some harvesting. Getting that going is really important. And then here I'm just going to grab the gentle alien. Book doesn't do anything for the Bull, so let's go ahead and reroll, and yeah, I'll take all of these items, so we've got a great set of items locked. Even though we're giving up a couple rerolls in order to lock these items, it's still totally fine. We're also saving money because we get to keep the prices from the earlier waves. Got the crate there, but of course before we got the bag. Tragic. I will say having this many trees in the opening couple waves is pretty lucky. So that's nice. Oh, we also had a curse alien spawn, which I'd have loved to kill, but I didn't see it in time. Propeller hat is excellent, of course. This character, like I said, wants luck very badly, and then I'm going to reroll here. I'm just going to take 5 more luck, and then we'll take 8 harvesting to get our economy going. We'll start with the bag, and can I afford all of these? I can, so we can buy all those, and then reroll. Take duct tape as well. The more armor you can get for this character, by far the better, so buying items like duct tape is really important, and then we're going to reroll here. Dynamite, of course we're going to take. Explosion damage is how we do damage, so buying dynamite is excellent, just improves our damage by a lot for a very small price. I'm actually not going to buy the landmines, even though we're buying dynamite. We don't really want to spend money on engineering or anything to scale the landmines, and while the Bull can use some help killing trees, which landmines can sometimes help with, it's just not reliable enough to make me want to spend money on it when we could be buying economy or damage early. This is the first challenge for this character on this map, is this lamprey, which does a bunch of damage, so can be very dangerous. I'm going to run over there and kill the curse alien. I definitely need to improve my move speed. That's what's impacting my income the most at this point. Trying to kill the curse alien, but also get as many of those other guys as possible. Here, do I just have to take move speed? -3 is pretty bad. I could also take 4.5 regeneration, or I could roll for harvesting. I think I'm going to roll for harvesting. If we can get over 21, that helps a lot, and then we'll take 12% damage, just because it's a level 3 upgrade. Penguin is not going to be as important for this character as for other characters. We're always going to take damage, so we won't be able to generate as much bonus regen, but any regen you buy on the bull is good. So even for 40, even if we only count this as like 1 or 2 regeneration, it's still very efficient. And then we're going to buy both of these. Baby gecko we don't really need. We are only killing stuff next to us typically, so we don't need the gecko. I will take the lumberjack shirt. The saltwater I will grab as well. The attack speed is wasted, but the extra move speed is pretty nice, and this will be on basically all the time. So we can buy both of these items. Currently feeling pretty good about where we're at. Oh, I thought I would one-shot that thing. I definitely need to boost my damage a little bit, because as you can see, we're not one-shotting every enemy, and you really want to be doing that. Have to kill that tree. We've got these curse aliens, which I'm going to try to take out, but I'm falling behind a little bit on income this wave, because we're not one-shotting the enemies, and if you're not doing that on the bull, and you take multiple explosions to kill stuff, it can get really slow. I decided to kill the loot alien over the curse alien, but maybe we get both? We don't quite. But we're still making 188 materials this wave, which is pretty nice. Alien magic, well, our 20 luck really paying off here, getting a level 3 item that's also a great level 3 item for us. We'll take the duct tape as well, and then I'll grab 15 luck. We just reduced our luck, so increasing that is very good also. Let's take the salt water. This does boost the base damage of our explosions by quite a bit, and corrupted shard, and I'm taking lumberjack shirt. We can use lumberjack shirt plus pocket factory and random other damage that we might find to break trees. Our explosions should do enough damage to kill trees for us, but they don't yet, so the lumberjack shirt will be helpful in that sense as well, and it pulls a unique out of the pool, so I'm pretty happy to grab it there. Crit chance is actually quite good for the bull, because the bull explosions can critically hit. They crit for 1.5 times their normal damage, but the base damage numbers will get so high that each point of crit chance will become a huge amount of average extra damage for the explosions pretty quickly. That being said, I'm not going to buy the sunglasses this early. I'm going to focus on getting other stats that we want more first. Take the coupon, and I will buy the toxic sludge. 33 for 2 damage is fine. We can build dodge on the bull, and I'll talk a little bit more about why I actually like building dodge on this character if we end up doing that. But buying more damage is more useful at this point. I have lumberjack shirt, so do I want the turret? I might buy it, but I don't think it's worth locking. I'd rather just have the free reroll for another item that we might want more. So one challenge with the bull is that the bull explosions, because they scale with ranged damage, they use your ranged damage stat for their scaling, they do count as killing the pufferfish and the lampreys with a ranged attack. That means you get the pufferfish projectile spawns, as you saw there, and you get the additional lamprey spawning if you kill the blobfish. So that it can be pretty dangerous on the Abyss. Those are definitely things that you have to look out for. Basically, anything that scales off of ranged damage is going to trigger those extra effects, and the bull does. So even though it feels a little weird because you have to be literally on top of the enemy in order to hit them with the explosions, it still does trigger the extra projectiles. And you can easily one-shot yourself with those if you're not careful. I'll take the turret here, and then I'm just going to grab 2 armor. We'll take a bag and a treasure map and a plant. You can't use lifesteal on the bull, by the way, so regeneration is the best way to heal, regen and consumable healing. So don't worry about reducing your lifesteal. I think we can get away with the bait. It increases our damage, and we're doing pretty well, so I'm not that unhappy about that. We will be buying items with that give us elemental damage occasionally, so the snowball could be quite a bit of extra damage, actually. I think I will try out the snowball, and I'll just buy the helmet here. I don't need to buy the snowball yet, because we're not getting an elemental damage item at this yet anyway, so it doesn't do anything right away. But yeah, so we can buy snowball, and then immediately buy frozen heart. This won't give us any additional damage on our explosions, I don't think. I'm actually not 100% sure how this works with how the bull explosions work with Nail and Frozen Heart, so we're going to do some science here. But I don't believe this will scale our damage anymore, and we scale 300% anyways, so 10% extra is not a big deal. But just 8 elemental damage and 5 crit chance is really good for the Frozen Heart, regardless. Definitely need some move speed. That's what I'm most worried about right now. So I wanted to wait until the lampreys charged me and stacked up on top of each other before hitting them, so that we could hit as many of them as possible at once. Then we'll walk over here, get that tree kill. You can see now that my armor is okay, but we are reaching the point where we can't just wade into the enemies with complete impunity. We have to actually pay attention to how much damage we're taking. Once I get a little more armor, or more damage output, more regeneration and everything, we'll be able to, again, walk into enemies more aggressively. But for now, we do have to be a little bit careful about our HP totals. Um, 300 on wave 7 on the Abyss, not bad at all. So we did lose a lot of move speed here. The reinforced steel, this is 2 range damage to scale the base damage of my attacks. It is also 3 engineering, which doesn't do anything except for our turret at the moment, but it cost me 3 speed. This is a really interesting decision point, but I think I'm going to take it. I just want to boost my damage, and then we'll take armor. And then here I could roll for speed, because I do need to boost my speed back to 0, so I'm actually going to do that. If we get a level 3 speed upgrade with our guaranteed level 3 upgrade from our level 10 level up, then we're back to 0 speed, and then we're totally fine. We'll buy the snowball and the frozen heart. Boiling water we'll buy as well. Do I want the plant first or the boiling water first? I think I'll take the water. And then I'm going to roll here, and yep, we'll buy all of these stats also. Snowball already worth 2 elemental damage, so actually a pretty good snowball so far. It hasn't been efficient yet, but if it's already given me 2, there's a chance that it'll give us like 5 or 6 by the end of the run, which is all you really want out of snowball for it to be pretty good. Spending 80 on, 5 or 6 damage is pretty good. That's like if we bought mastery for a melee build, for example. So just a very efficient item. Again, stacking all the enemies. The number 1 thing you want on the bull is explosion size, because it helps you kill multiple enemies with 1 explosion and not have to worry about the enemy stacking as much. So it just lets you clear faster, because you don't have to care about how much damage you're taking as frequently. Near the end of the wave, of course, you want to run into enemies aggressively to try to do a bunch of damage. Yeah, I'll take an eye surgery. Again, just an elemental damage here, and that gives us a second one because of the snowball. I'm just going to grab harvesting, and then we'll buy out this whole shop. Take a roll here, and we'll take the coupon. Lock the metal plate, lock the garden. I'll do one more reroll, because I think we could probably find something else good. And yeah, I mean, if we keep finding these elemental damage items, this snowball is actually going to really snowball. It's going to be very efficient for us. So this wave, the big spawners are going to drop the slashers. And the slashers are pretty dangerous. These guys that come out of the eggs are pretty dangerous just because they do so much damage. So I'm going to try to break a couple of the eggs. I'm going to try to kill the spawners before too many spawn. Although that cursed one is going to be a problem for us. I actually should have used the slash there to trigger the explosion on the tree. But our regeneration is good enough that we should be in okay shape at this point. Would love to get anything that boosts our AoE clear would be really nice. Something like a rip and tear. Obviously, plastic explosive or any other explosion size item would be phenomenal. Really, we're just looking for ways to make this character more efficient at killing enemies. But we're in great shape at this point. This run is going very well, so hopefully we can just close it out. Yeah, I'll take 4 armor, level 4 armor upgrade. That's amazing. And then we'll take 12% more damage. Our percent damage could definitely be improved. Buying all of these items, which of course gives us even more elemental damage from the snowball, because charcoal gives us elemental damage, and leather vest as well. So now that we have 10% dodge, I should talk a little bit about dodge. You might think that we don't want dodge on the bull because we're trying to take damage. You shouldn't worry about that. Buying dodge on the bull is fine, because if you want to take damage, you can walk in and dodge, and then that just means more enemies will get on top of you before you do your explosion. So if we get a dodge, it just helps us kill more enemies in a single burst, and increases the amount of clear speed that we have, while also increasing our survivability for times when we don't want to take damage. Dodge also is very efficient for the bull because we're going to have high HP, high regeneration, and high armor, and dodge gets better the more of all of those stats that you have, because it acts effectively as a multiplier on your maximum health. If 50% of all attacks miss you, that effectively doubles your max HP, right? So the more max HP we have, the more regen we have, the better each point of dodge gets. I'm going to buy all of these, and we finally have positive speed. The sharp bullet would be kind of interesting if I had rolled into Pocket Factory, and we would take Pocket Factory. Very happy, of course, to buy a lure here. A great item for every character, but even more so for the bull. And then we will buy both of these as well. We've ended up with a lot of random engineering, actually, because we bought duct tape a couple times, and we just have a couple items that give us a few incidental engineering points. So we could end up with a construct sub-theme very easily, given the items that we've found so far. So there you can see I got that dodge, right? And then, or that one. We walked into the enemies, and we still just kill one extra enemy because we got that dodge. It didn't slow us down at all. There will be the occasional time where it will slow you down, and you might stress about those, but really, really you shouldn't. Because most of the time it's going to speed up your clear speed and also just makes you more survivable. Again, there you can see an example of a time when dodging was better for us, let us regen more and wait for more enemies to group before we exploded on them. It's easier, I think, to fixate on the downsides of something, because that's kind of how human brains are naturally wired. We like to focus on not losing stuff more than we like to focus on gaining stuff. So you need to, when you're playing a game, deliberately make yourself look at the upsides of things so that you can understand them better, because your natural inclination is going to be to pay more attention to the downsides. And by looking at the upsides, you will get a more accurate picture of what's actually happening. Coral, I will take here. So you can use Coral to tap move, and you get a lot of bonus value by doing that. If you just sort of tap move around, you get a lot of regeneration. I find it a little annoying to tap move, especially with the bull, because I just want to walk into enemies. So I'm taking the Coral because it's only 20 materials, but I won't be tap moving around. Handcuffs here is really interesting. It boosts our damage enormously because we use all 3 of these stats, but caps my max HP at 58, which is very low, especially for the bull. That being said, I think I'm going to take it. Increasing our damage output at this point is quite good, and this will mean just we need to take less damage. So now I can just focus on buying regen and armor and making these 58 hit points go further. Obviously, I would prefer not to cap my hit points at 58. We definitely would be happier with like 100 or 120 hit points, but the amount of extra damage that we get out of it makes it worth it. Plus, we get 1 extra elemental damage because it's a snowball item as well. I will take the gambling token. We talked a bit about dodge already. And then percent damage is going to be worth more than base damage because you have to add all of these numbers together for your base damage. So while normally you would be looking at one of these three for a given build, this character, we've got effectively 48 base damage and only 29% percent damage. So increasing our percent damage is going to be much more of an increase for us than increases to our base damage. Very happy with Baby Squid. And we'll take all of these items, of course, as well. Even though we can't use the lifesteal, just more enemies is good. It's just more explosions for us. This is a really good economy shop with like 4 of the best economy items in the game, all in that one shop. That's a really powerful shop. We're 1 short of being able to buy both the alien worm and the lemonade. I think that I will take the lemonade. And do I actually want the alien worm? We can't use the HP anymore because we're HP capped. And do I want the night goggles, actually? Losing an armor and 3 max HP is really painful, but 15 crit chance is a lot of bonus damage, so I think we will lock those. I'm going to drink some water and think about the alien worm for a second. So, I think spending 36 for 3 regen but -1 consumable healing is probably not great here, especially because we just got the baby squid, which is going to boost our regeneration as well. So I'm going to re-roll that. I'll definitely buy both of these, and then we'll go fight a horde wave. More enemies from the mouse is good for us for a bunch of reasons. Obviously, more economy, but also the more small enemies there are on the field, the easier it is to trigger explosions off of something that doesn't do that much damage. And later on, we're going to want to be making sure that the hits we take are from like smaller and non-cursed enemies, so that the individual amounts of damage we take are not that high. Any damage instance triggers the bull's explosion, so ideally you would want to only ever be taking 1 damage at a time in order to get the explosion value. Also, again, I want to emphasize how good the dodge is for us here, because we're in the middle of all these enemies. It just lets them stack more, and we are able to survive being in the middle of all these enemies much more easily because of all the dodge that we have. I will say that was a slightly lower income for that wave than I was hoping for, but still pretty good. I'm going to take the armor here. Just more and more armor is always great, and I think we can grab some harvesting. The reason we didn't make as much money that wave as we might have liked is because we didn't have very high harvesting, and we didn't have an explosion size increase, which would have helped us kill even more horde aliens. Okay, we're going to buy all of these and then roll. Peaceful Bee we're still not taking because it does decrease our base damage by a lot. I will take another garden, though. And Finn, 10% speed. I do want bonus speed. Losing 8 luck is pretty bad. The Clockwork Wasp, how many gardens do we have, actually? We've got 2 already, right? Where is it? I'm just scrolling past it because I always scroll past items that I'm looking for. There we go. Okay, we have 3 gardens. So we'll take the Clockwork Wasp for sure. And I think 15 speed is enough, so I'm going to pass on the Fin there. And we'll take a plant. Claw Tree I'll grab as well. And Alien Eyes won't do that much extra damage, but because our max HP is low. But it's a way to clear enemies that doesn't involve walking on them, so it's still pretty nice for this character. So that time the dodge cost me 1 material, because I dodged instead of hitting that guy. But you can see that overall, the number of times it's given us extra money compared to the number of times it's cost us money is definitely worth it. And, of course, it acts as a survivability mechanism. You don't need to get up to 60% dodge with this character, but the point I'm making is don't be afraid of dodge. So I'm staying at about half health. We don't want to dip below half health. too much because that makes it easy for me to die if I just tank like 1 or 2 hits. I decided to get the loot alien over the curse alien. I had a choice between the two of them, and the loot alien seemed more valuable there. We'll take the lost duck. Fried rice, I'm gonna grab this. It doesn't do anything right now, but if we have a scared sausage, and then maybe find Pocket Factory or something to apply the fire, or if we find an incendiary turret, then it'll be very valuable. So I'm gonna take it speculatively. I'll grab the campfire as well, and ice cube. All of our explosions do elemental damage, so that's a big damage boost for us. Then I'll take 9 speed to get my speed back up to like 20%, and with the clockwork wasp, that's all the move speed we need. We'll buy all of these items, and then roll. Candle, even cursed, do I want the candle at all? I think I don't. Losing this much economy by reducing the number of enemies is so bad, but it is 5 curse and 2 regeneration and 8 elemental damage. So I mean, that's so many stats. I think I'm gonna pass on it though. It's also just less fun, so we're gonna pass on candle here. Spyglass will not pay for itself in time to be useful. The issue with Spyglass is just that when you buy it, it's going to be like 5 or 6 waves before it pays itself off, and you're spending all this money on no stats, so you're not actually improving your clear speed. Now, this character is pretty strong, so we could buy the Spyglass and still get some value out of it, because we're okay to spend 70 on something that doesn't help us actually kill things. So I'm going to buy Spyglass here. We'll do a little science and see how long it takes for it to pay off. Actually, okay, we'll buy double Spyglass and see how long it takes for these two to pay off. Take the bowler hat as well. Shady potion, yes. I don't think we need the feather. Stone skin would be really nice, of course, given our 33 armor, but we can't use the max HP, so that's fine. So we spent 140 on 2 Spyglasses, so we'll check back in a few waves and see how many materials they've given us. This is a fairly high economy run, and also our character is quite strong right now, so we're better set up to use fewer economy items like Spyglass. Spyglass gives you more money the more money you're making, because you're just more likely to reroll if your character's making more money. And because we're fairly strong, this is a pretty high economy run. I did want to... Wait, how did I kill that tree there? I didn't see what actually did damage to me. It looked like I just walked over the tree and it died. That's funny. Oh, it must have been alien eyes. Yeah, I'll take the scope here. 2 range damage works fine. Attack speed doesn't matter at all for this character. And then we'll take 12% more damage. We're going to grab the campfire, shady potion, and bowler hat, and then do a roll here. Padding, again, we can't use max HP, but honey is amazing for us. And I'll take the baby elephant as well. We have high luck, and this can help us kill enemies sort of across the field. Given that I've bought baby elephant, I'm going to take the gecko also. And then I will buy all of these as well. Spyglass check, 27 materials saved after 2 waves. So this is probably the hardest elite for this character because it puts explosions on us and then also follows us. So it's hard for us not to tank damage from it. I'm going to try to kill it here, I think, because we're pretty strong. The idea is you want to have enemies that aren't the elite walk near it, and then you use those to trigger explosions on top of it. And that way you can get damage on the elite without having to take the very high damage instances that it itself does. You also, if you need to take a hit from the elite, try to take a hit from its projectiles rather than its actual body, because the projectiles do less damage. So there we go. Having done a bunch of damage to it, we've managed to take it out relatively quickly. We'll run up here, take that hit, get that tree. And we actually made decent money this wave, even though we spent a lot of it fighting the elite, and that's because all our damage is AoE, so we were killing other stuff at the same time as we were killing the elite. Dynamite, of course, great. Tyler, yep, we're going to grab that. We have elemental damage and a decent amount of engineering, so the engineering sub-theme is actually kind of working out for this character. Losing 3 regen, of course, is not great, but all of these other stats are great for us, so we'll grab that. We'll take this. I'm going to grab 6% more dodge here, and then we will, of course, be very happy to grab the honey. This boosts our damage output a lot, and the explosion size modifier, even 5%, is a huge boost to our effective wave clear. Reroll here. Spicy sauce, another explosion thing that we can do. And we'll take the sunglasses, lock a cauldron, and re-roll. I probably could start buying peaceful bees at this point to boost my dodge chance, but losing that much damage, I think, is still not where we want to be. Because we have double Spyglass, so our rerolls are a lot cheaper. I'm gonna throw in a reroll here. Alien Baby. 5% enemy health for 6 curse. The max HP doesn't do anything, but the curse is, in and of itself, very valuable. I think I will pass on that, though. Increasing enemy health could maybe hit some awkward breakpoints where we are killing enemies in 2 explosions instead of 1. And this run doesn't need curse as much as many runs because we don't use weapons, so we can't roll into a cursed weapon. Killing that tree there. We're strong enough that we can, like, one-shot all of the curse aliens that come, or all the lampreys that come out of these blobfish, so I am not worried about triggering them, even though we get 4. There's a tree over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it. Come on. Okay. Had to walk back into sort of the edge of my explosion radius to kill that tree. Triangle of Power. This is an item you definitely want to avoid on the bull, because you have to tank damage, so we're going to pass on that one. And my base damage is pretty good. I could take 9 dodge. I think I'm just going to grab that. That'll help with our survivability a bit. And then we'll buy out this whole shop. Roll some more. I will keep buying out this whole shop. Well, I'll take the campfire. Quick snowball check as well. 9 elemental damage. That's way better than snowball usually does. So we're rolling hot on the snowball. I guess rolling cold is what you want with a snowball, but that wouldn't make sense. Mastery is only plus 3 damage for this character, so for 137, we're going to pass on that as well. Fairy, obviously amazing. We're very happy to see that. We'll take a claw tree also, and go to wave 16. The mini-bosses are very dangerous for the bull, and if you accidentally kill the towers, the buff stargazers, these drooly guys, are really dangerous as well, because the bull really doesn't like taking single high instances of damage, because you just want to take lots of little damage amounts so that you can kill things faster. And those guys do tons of damage. The mini-bosses as well have tons of health, so it takes like many explosions to kill them. And can really put you in trouble if you let too many of them spawn. Wave 16 has a lot of curse aliens, which is pretty nice, so we can get a little bit of extra curse here. And we're still making decent money. This isn't the most amazing income, but it's pretty good for the Abyss. Making 600 on wave 16 is not bad at all. Corrupted Shard we're very happy with. Celery Tea we're going to pass on. Doubling enemy health is so bad for this character. You really don't want to do it. And of course we have an elite next wave. Not that I remembered that when I passed on the item, but it is another good reason to pass on the item. Take the fairy and the claw tree. Reinforced steel, again, do I want this? 2 ranged damage for 130. I think we're going to pass on that. Extra stomach would be nice, again, if we didn't have the if we didn't have capped HP. Gnome, losing the pickup range is actually really bad for this character, but the Gnome's additional damage boost is so high that we're definitely going to grab it. Spicy sauce as well. Take a reroll here, and I almost bought the broken mouth out of habit, but we don't want it. I'll roll one more time. And okay, we got the best possible item for this character in the form of blood donation, because if we take 1 damage every second, that means we explode every second, which means we don't have to actually walk into enemies in order to explode on them and kill them. It makes it much easier to actually kill the bosses. You do not need to roll into Blood Donation or Bloody Hand or any of the damage over time items in order to win with this character, but it does make it much easier to actually kill the bosses and elites. That being said, what you mostly need is just regeneration and armor, and you can always, even if you feel like you're not going to be able to kill the bosses, the Bull is one of the absolute best characters in the game at just running away from elites, because you should have so much damage damage mitigation and healing that you can just run away from them. So even if you can't walk into them safely, you can just not take damage as you're running away. At this point, we have enough armor and regen, dodge, and stuff that we can just move into groups of enemies more or less without paying attention to what they do. Our max HP is pretty low, so we do still have to be somewhat cognizant of that, because otherwise, if we take a couple 20 damage instances, then we could die, but we have 36 armor, so we're just not taking 20 damage instances that frequently. I'll boost my crit chance for even faster kills. Take the leather vest here. Lowering our HP doesn't matter at all, of course. I'm gonna pass on the snail. Snail can be useful to the bull just to let you catch up to enemies, but I think I'd rather just have the money here. Goat Skull I'll take because it's a unique item for fairy and gives us some melee damage. And butterfly. Do I want 1.5 regen? I think I'm just going to recycle it. We'll take the mutation though, and gentle alien, and then just more dodge. Yeah, just more dodge for fighting the elites, I think is the best thing for us. Take the blood donation, spicy sauce, clockwork wasp, and pearl. Dodge also works well if you have blood donation, because then you no longer need to take damage from enemies. Mouse we're gonna grab. Tentacle is nice for this character because we've built 50% crit chance. You can use Tentacle and Hunting Trophy with the bull. It does work, so we'll get a lot of extra healing there. Bat is just 1 regen, so we're gonna pass on it. I do actually want the alien tongue because we reduced our pickup range with the gnome, and a bunch of our healing does still come from consumables, so a little more pickup radius is good. It's also worth some regen from fairy. Take the goblet. Even though this decreases our regen by 4.5, it's still worth it. Claw tree. Pile of books I'm going to take, not because it's good, but just because it's fun. So you can see now we just explode every second, so we have more explosions. Especially if we got increased explosion size, we could just use this to kill enemies without having to be next to them. But it also just increases our damage output, even if we're still walking into enemies. By quite a bit. Whoops. Made that guy mad. At this point, our damage is also high enough that we kill most things in one shot. We crit for 1,200 damage. 1,300 almost. And with 100 regeneration, we take 1 hit and then immediately heal it back up. So, we're feeling in pretty good shape at this point. There was that loot alien that I didn't see in time. Medical turret, I'm going to grab just any healing on this character that you can get is pretty valuable. And then dodge is probably... 9 dodge is probably better than 4 armor at this point for our survivability, so I'll take it, because the closer you get to dodge cap, the more valuable each point of dodge gets, and the more armor you have, the more valuable each point of dodge gets. Then we're gonna buy all of these and then roll. Yeah, I'll take a cute monkey as well, just mostly for fun. I'll take the lost duck. We have so much healing from our regeneration, but also now we have tons of non-regeneration sources of healing in the form of Cute Monkey, in the form of Tentacle, and so on, that we are able to just heal constantly. Starfish does increase enemy damage, and unfortunately, it's too late in the run for the Starfish to be valuable, so we're going to roll past it. Oh yeah, let me check the Spyglasses. See how I meant to check them a few waves ago, and see how whether they had paid off or not. I forget what wave we bought these on. I think it was wave like 11. And they've given us 100 materials and cost 140. So you can see why I don't like Spyglass very much. It takes a long time to pay off, if it ever does. Maybe it was like wave 14 or something, but it takes many waves to pay off, if it ever does. Gives you no combat stats in the meantime, and often doesn't even pay off at all. So Spyglass, typically a very weak item that you should avoid. Ball and Chain, I'm going to grab, of course. This is huge, and we don't care about the penalty at all. And then Pencil, I think we can roll past. I'll lock another Cute Monkey for even more healing. Believe me, it pains me as much as any of you that Spyglass is an economy item that's not good, but an economy item that doesn't even pay for itself is just not where you want to be in this game, or any game. Many of the other economy items also have secondary effects that make them really good, even despite that make them good even discounting the economy. Like, often you'll buy Lure even if you can't kill the loot aliens, just because 2 regeneration is good. And Lure also gives you like triggers from Bag. It gives you extra enemies to lifesteal off of. So there's a lot of small secondary effects that are really nice with items like Lure, for example, as well. Spyglass doesn't really have those. It does make rolling for specific items a little bit easier. We're recycling the tardigrade here, and then I'm going to roll. I'll just grab 20 luck, and then we will buy out these items, and then roll again. Take a dangerous bunny. No, actually, there's no point in that. I will take the jetpack. It does decrease my armor by 1, and my regen by 3, but I think that's fine. The dodge is useful. That gets us to dodge cap, and we'll take the elemental damage as well. I'll roll here, take some armor, and keep rolling. I guess we can get a final tally on the Spyglass's performance. So we made 30 materials after, I forget how many waves, somebody let me know in the comments. But in terms of actual rerolls, before we just reroll for fun here, we made 31 total materials after like 5 or 6 waves at minimum, which is a horrible return on the investment. Roll here and roll again. Landmines, I would take, keep on rolling, again, just for fun. We can't afford any of these items, but a bunch of those things are great. And let's see how quickly we can kill the bosses. We should be able to do so pretty rapidly. So the bosses on this map do a lot of damage, so you do have to be careful with your positioning. You don't want to take too many hits from them, even if we have like 50 armor. So I'm just using the blood donation to stand next to them. If we didn't have blood donation, we could either just walk into them. We have enough regeneration that it would be fine, probably, but I'm showcasing just sort of how you should play the fights in general. We could either just walk into them, use other enemies to trigger the explosions, like we did with the elites, or just run away and survive. It's very easy to just not die with the bull because of how much regen you have. All right, that is the bull in the abyss, and hopefully that gives you a sense of how to play this character in this map. Taking a look at our items here, you can see we had some pretty good luck with economy items. We got triple bag, which were worth 1,000 materials. Obviously, that's always awesome. You will find more economy items with this character than with other characters because you don't have to buy weapons, so you're going to be able to roll for economy items more, and so you will typically find more of these types of high-quality economy items with the bull than with other characters. Coupons were great. The saltwater was really nice. It increased my damage and boosted my move speed, especially when we were struggling with that. The treasure map was worth 6 extra items. Treasure map is just insanely good. This is 3 lures in a single item. Just a ridiculous rate of return on this item. We found 240 bonus materials from the metal detector. That's pretty nice. 17 regen, which is actually, what's that? 13, an additional 8.5 regen on top of that. So that's 25.5 regen from the baby squids, which is great, of course. All of the extra enemy items were excellent. The crit chance was really good. 40k damage off the baby elephant, so they were fine. Spyglasses made us 244, but most of the saved materials, like we showed, were after we couldn't buy items anymore, so just like curiosity rolls. So those are fake materials. We made like 171 off the 2 Spyglasses, and they were very bad, even for this run where Spyglass was at its best. 7k damage dealt on the fairly late landmines was not bad, and 23k on the 22.5 on the spicy sauce, also pretty good. 77 HP on the tentacle is pretty good as well. So overall, just a very clean run, and one that you should be able to duplicate yourself just by regeneration. Spiral around so you hit multiple enemies with 1 explosion, and you should be able to cleanly win with the bowl on the abyss. As always, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you have, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, my friends. I'll catch you next time.